What's going on, guys? Zuko back. Another Shadowlands video, another PTR test, another coffee. Give me a second here. I'm on my third coffee or something. Look at that. So freaking cool. Okay. What are we doing in this PTR test? Look at all the people that are down here now. This is getting crazy. We are doing the fire build. Now, listen, I'm so excited about this build. Oh, I think it's going to be so freaking good. So let me look really quickly at the tier set bonus, if you guys don't know. And I'll look at the fire build, and what does that work? This is the third of 4 builds that I'm showing you on the PTR. We have tier sets, we have double legendaries, so we can finally test some of the stuff that, like the tier set was fine, but the double legendaries is really where a lot of these builds get their punch. So I talked about Doom Winds is a little bit Covenant agnostic. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. I think Night Fae is the best. Night Fae has a small synergy with Doom Winds. But on the Feral Spirits build, you have to go Night Fae because it synergizes with the dogs being off cooldown more and more and more. That's what you want. You want your dogs to come back over and over again. With the Fire build, you really should go VENTHYR. That's what I think is going to be sort of the new hotness is going to be VENTHYR, Fire Shaman, Enhanced Shaman, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. First of all, you're going to go Hot Hand Slashing Flames, and we're going to get to Fire Nova in a second. Don't get ahead of yourselves. I think Fire Nova is actually going to be a thing now. But let's just take Ellie Assault for now, and then you should go Elemental Spirits because you're getting so many dogs out, you're going to have a high chance of getting a Fire Dog. If you get a Fire Dog out, you get 20% more fire damage, and your Lava Lashes put a dot on enemies. So, like, Elemental Spirits, I think, is also core to this build now. But I'm going to run Lashing Flames, Hot Hands. You're going to see why in a minute. There's a really, really important change that happened in this last patch. And that's... So, let me just run over here for a sec. This is absolutely insane. This is something that Blizzard never does in their games mid-expansion. They don't ever change, like, a core part of the kit on a damage is increased by if you have Flame Tongue weapon on your offhand, which you always do. This last part is brand new. Lava Lash will spread flame shocks from your target to 3 nearby targets. This is absolutely insane now. This should have been in the game years ago, but thank God it's finally here. Not only does it spread flame shocks, it refreshes the flame shocks that are there. That's actually I don't even know why it doesn't say that, because that's the most important part of this. It refreshes the flame shocks that you have going. You press flame shock once now, and you never have to press it again, because you're going to Lava Lash targets, and it's going to spread that flame shock and refresh it to its max duration. It's absolutely insane, and you're going to see it on AoE here in a minute. So that's what, and then, sorry, that's the change that came in. Let's look at what the Covenant Legendary does for us. So 5 friendly targets healed, get Riptide. 5 enemy targets hit by Chain Harvest now have a Flame Shock put on them. And Chain Harvest also got a buff that's coming in 9.2. Flame Shock critical strikes reduce the cooldown of Chain Harvest by 1 second. Again, this is absolutely crazy. It's so good for our build. Here's what's going to end up happening. You're going to have free flame shocks going all over the place. You're going to be just pressing Lava Lash all the time because of Primal Lava Actuators. I'll get there in a second. Your Chain Harvest is going to have not a 1.5 minute cooldown, but like a 25-second cooldown. Here's the dummy that I just hit a minute ago before I did this test. Here's the AoE damage that I was doing. Look at Chain Harvest. I cast Chain Harvest 3 times in a 1 minute and 15-second fight. That means that Chain Harvest was cast every 25 seconds. Not every minute and a half, like the cooldown down here says, every 25 seconds. This is obviously in an AoE situation, but this is what you could expect to find in a Mythic Plus. You're going to have Chain Harvest off cooldown every like 30 seconds or every 25 seconds. That's absolutely bonkers for our build. So the final piece of this is that you're obviously going to run Primal Lava Actuators. So every time Flame Shock does damage, it increases the damage of Lava Lash and reduces the cooldown of Lava Lash. This build just reduces the cooldown of everything. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna get your chain harvest going once you have 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon. You're gonna get flame shocks on everything. Then you're gonna hit all those flame shocks with Lava Lash to get the lashing flames buff going. You're never going to have to press Flame Shock again because the Lava Lash is just going to keep refreshing all of your Flame Shocks on the targets and adding new ones to new targets. Your Feral Spirits are going to be buffing your fire damage if you happen to get a Fire Wolf. Your tier set bonus is going to be giving you wolves every time you spend Maelstrom, which in this case will be on things like Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt. We're not running LE Blast. On top of all of that, every time your Flame Shocks tick, they're going to reduce the cooldown of Chain Harvest. So Chain Harvest is constantly having its cooldown reduced, Lava Lash is having its cooldown reduced, and it's having its damage buffed. And it's doubling the damage of your Flame Shocks, and it's refreshing all of your Flame Shocks, and it's spreading Flame Shocks. Like, it's just... Here we go. I'm going to stop talking. Get your Wind Fury Totem down. You're not going to need it in terms of Doom Winds, right? Well, how do you start this? You're going to press Wolves right off the bat. And then you're going to build 5 stacks of Maelstrom. You're going to start with 1 Flame Shock, and then you're going to spread it. I want you to see this. Our focus is on Lava Lash, okay? Here we go. Wolves into Flame Shock. Lava Lash first. I have 3 Flame Shocks out already. Chain Harvest into Lava Lash. We're going to tab target and get the Lashing Flames buff going. So there's my next target. I'm not pressing Flame Shock ever again. I'm just pressing Lava Lash. Here it comes. I'm on my 4th target. There, I got the Hot Hands proc. Okay, that's what we're obviously running Hot Hands. I'm going to keep tab targeting so that I keep refreshing my Lashing Flames talent on everything. Look, Chain Harvest is back again. Wow, we're going to press it. Here we go. We're going to keep going. I'm not going to press Flame Shock because I don't need to. I can press things like Storm Strike. My Feral Wolves are giving me my Storm Strike procs. I'm continuing to tab target. Oh, I pressed Flame Shock. That was a mistake. I'm continuing to tab target so that I can get the Lashing Flames debuff rolling. I got a Hot Hand proc again. Look at our Chain Harvest cooldown. Chain Harvest is almost back again. Gonna keep tab targeting. Chain Harvest again. Gonna keep going. We'll wait till our dogs come off cooldown. Gonna keep tab targeting so that I can get the Lashing Flames debuff rolling. We're not even gonna press Flame Shock. We're gonna press every other button that's flashing at us. Remember, every time you spend Maelstrom, which is Chain Lightning in this case, you have a chance of getting a Wolf. We've gotten kind of unlucky here, but that's okay. That'll happen. Okay, we're going to keep going. There we go. We're going to get 1 more stack of Chain Harvest out. And boom. There you go. Like, here we go. Let's look at the damage. So, that fight was 1 minute and 40 seconds long. Okay? Chain Harvest was cast 4 times. 3, 6, 9, 12. 30, 60, 90 seconds, 120. What was it? 100 and... It was 1 minute and 30, which is 6... That's 90 seconds. It was basically 90 seconds long. No, it was 100 seconds long. 140 is 100 seconds. We cast this 4 times. 3, 6, 9. That's less than every 25 seconds. It's basically every 25 seconds. Okay? This is a 1.5 minute cooldown. We're making it a 25-second cooldown. It does a buttload of damage. It just does. When you have 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon on this thing, it's doing like almost... What did it do? It hit for 20k crit. What was the maximum? A 22k crit. Obviously, Lava Lash is our big part of our damage because we're running Hot Hands. On top of all that, our Flame Shock dots is really where all the damage is going to come from because it spreads for free. It just spreads for free, and we're doubling all of our Flame Shock damage with Lashing Flames. This Lashing Flames, I've done the fire build. You guys have seen me do it on the game as it is right now, the live game. And it's difficult sometimes to run this build and spread all of your... like get the Lashing Flames buff going and then get your Flame Shocks on the same target. Sometimes that can be kind of difficult. But this is so much easier now because Lava Lash just spreads Flame Shock everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, this build is going to be so good. Here's where it might get insane, though. Let's take Fire Nova. We're going to jump into Fire Nova. Yeah. Hero Pepe Cry. Okay, this is going to be just crazy. So, we're getting free Flame Shock spreading now, which means Fire Nova value just goes right through the roof, okay? So let's do our whole rotation again. We're going to add in Fire Nova this time. And I want you guys to see. Let's take off friendly nameplate. Sorry, that's probably distracting. Here's our dummies. We're going to press dogs again. We're going to get the 5-stack chain harvest going right away, and then we're going to press Fire Nova, and then we're just going to press Fire Nova on cooldown. Okay, everybody ready for this? Boom. Let's go. Flame Shock. Hit it. Hit it. Here we go. Chain Harvest, Fire Nova. Make sure to tab target with Lava Lash, because we're going to keep getting the Lashing Flames buff, right? Oh, I pressed Flame Shock. That was a mistake. Fire Nova's back. Here we go. Boom. Gonna keep tab targeting so that we can get our Lashing Flames debuff continuously on all the targets so that it never goes down. Oh, our Fire Nova's back. There we go. And tab target again. Remember, we're just spreading Flame Shocks. We got a Hot Hand proc. Chain Harvest is back. We're gonna Chain Harvest into Fire Nova. Look at the AoE damage, man. It's just disgusting. Sundering into that again. And we're gonna, man, we're just gonna keep pressing Lava Lash, I guess. Fire Nova is back. We're gonna press it again. We'll get one more Chain Harvest out, and then we'll call it quits. Actually, no, we did four of them last time, right? I don't know how long these fights. Here's Fire Nova again. It's only a 12-second cooldown, right? So, again, we're not really focused on Storm Strike. We're focused on Lava Lash. Boom. We're gonna hit that. Boom. Fire Nova again. We are getting 5 targets, so we're kind of cheating a little bit there, but that's okay. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Fire Nova. One more cast to Chain Harvest, and we're done. So you can see that this is sort of a, what I would consider to be, you could do Wolves again. This is like a different form of AoE, right? Boom, into boom, into boom, we're done. So like, this is a different way of doing AoE now, and because Blizzard has finally given us Flame Shock spreading, we can truly do this build as a new form of AoE. Look at our Flame Shock dots. 21% of our damage. Like, Fire Nova, now another AoE button. It's 13% of our damage. This is a new way of doing AoE on Enhancement Shaman. No longer are you just pressing Crash Lightning into Chain Lightning, which is fine, but that's not your focus anymore. Your focus is you're going to spread Flame Shocks with Lava Lash, and you're going to hit Chain Harvest every 25 seconds, and then you're going to detonate all your Flame Shocks with Fire Nova. This is a really fun, interesting, new way to do AoE. That's just not, it's not focused as much on the lightning side of it, it's all fire. And I think that this is going to be completely viable in Mythic Plus. I think it's going to be really, really strong. I think if you're doing a raid boss, you're going to want to look more at Elemental Assault because you don't have AoE targets. However, caveat to this, I've been looking at all the raid bosses coming in Sepulchre of the First Realms. I think at least half of those bosses have really, really strong... there's a strong case to be made for AoE classes. The very first boss is like the Hellfire Assault from Legion. It's just there's a lot of ads in the very first fight. Anduin's fight has ads if you go down into the downstairs realm. There's another fight, I can't remember all the name of the fights, but there's like half of the fights that they've tested, there's 8 fights. I think 4 of them have like strong AoE potential that you can, there's one fight, the Prototype Pantheon, I think, where you just fight all 4 of them at the same time. 4 target cleave. Like, this is great for that. You could literally run Fire Nova. You could spread your Flame Shocks with Lashing Flames and like have the Hot Hand proc going. This is completely legit in that raid environment. This is going to be so good, guys. I think the bonus that we're getting from Elemental Spirits, you can see the Molten Edge still didn't do very much damage. Maybe I didn't do a good job of... Maybe we just didn't get lucky on the dogs. So, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. The bigger thing you're looking for, actually, is when this dog is active, this fire dog, you're doing 20% more fire damage. That's really what matters more. Let me look at this single target damage really quickly, okay? Because I know that you guys are going to be wondering about that. What I will say is that this is going to be amazing for AoE. There's no doubt about it. This is very strong in AoE. What is it like in single target? Let's check it out. We'll get our totem down. We're going to go Wolves, and then obviously we're going to lose some value on Chain Harvest because it's only hitting 1 target, as opposed to like Fey Transfusion, which does all of its damage whether you have 1 target or 5. But we'll go Wolves, we'll go Flame Shock, and Lava Lash right away. Okay, we're going to Chain Harvest, and we're going to go. We got to wait for a Hot Hand proc. We're kind of fishing for a Hot Hand proc. That's what we're looking for here. Oh shoot, we're cheating a little bit. That's not good. Oh well, that's fine. We got a Hot Hand proc. There we go. We are cheating a bit because these guys got flame shocked over here. So we got to be careful about that. Chain Harvest just bounces like so far, right? So you can see that the single target damage, the pure single target damage, this is without a trinket, without lust, none of that stuff, right? So the pure single target damage might be a little bit lacking compared to, certainly compared to the Feral Spirits build, and probably compared to the Storm Strike build that I'm going to test later. But the bottom line is, it's not awful. Oh, here comes Chain Harvest again. You're getting Chain Harvest back every cast there. There we go. How long was that fight? Here. That for a minute. We cast twice, staying 30 seconds. Every second will target a boss encounter. That's how much it reduces to free flame shocks. Probably not. Let's say on single target Chain Harvest probably goes down to like a 1 cooldown, maybe cooldown if you get lucky. That harvest, a higher harvest crits on its own. It reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds, and on top of that, all the flame shock ticks reduce the cooldown by a little bit more. So single target damage might be a little bit lower, but there are lots of AoE fights in this raid that's coming up, and so that's great. Like that's fine. In Mythic Plus though, this thing's gonna slap. It's gonna be so good. You get free Flame Shock spreading with Lava Lash. You can get the Lashing Flames buff much more easily than you used to be able to. All your Flame Shocks are doing double damage. You're going to get Hot Hand procs. You're going to take Fire Nova, and you're just going to nuke everything in the Mythic Plus dungeons that you're running. I am so excited about this build in particular because I think it's finally online. It's finally unlocked because you have the 5 Flame Shocks going out from the VENTHYR legendary effect. On top of that, you're buffing your Lava Lash damage and reducing the Lava Lash cooldown. On top of that, now they buffed the Flame Shocks to be reducing the cooldown of Chain Harvest, which is like just ridiculous. Like, what an amazing addition to put into the game. And finally, most importantly, your Lava Lash will now spread Flame Shocks and refresh them. I hope that that's not a bug and they don't get rid of that because that's like such an enormous part of this build that it spreads them and refreshes them. You don't have to spend time setting up your fire build. You used to have to spend so much time setting up flame shocks and trying to get them, and now you don't have to do that. You don't have to ever press flame shock. You press it once and you spread it, and then you keep spreading it and you keep spreading it. It's amazing. So I really think that this new build is going to be a ton of fun. I don't know which soulbind you want to run. I think Nadia is probably fine. You get the actually, I think Naughty is probably the best one because you get the crit down here, right? You get 20% more crit once you're done getting 20% more haste. So this is a really good setup. You want to run this crit conduit as well for Lava Lash. It's just looking good, guys. It's just looking really, really strong. I'm excited about VENTHYR Fire Enhancement Shaman. I think it's going to be amazing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to do the final build in the next video. It's going to be the Storm Strike build, Legacy of the Frost Witch. We're going to take a look at it. So stay tuned for that.